So she's crying. Standard. What is a guy usually gonna do when you see a girl cry? Give her a napkin or give her a towel, give her a handkerchief or something like that, right? Be a gentleman. Standard. She takes it, ruins your handkerchief. But she's still crying. The snot's still flowing. What do you do now? The decision is sit mode, white knight mode. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Sacrifice your shirt. Get all her snot on there. Like that sound I just made? Okay, fine. She's still crying. What are you going to do now? I just don't know what to say. Every time I watch that scene, I'm just speechless. The first time I watched it, I laughed. But now I'm showing it to you guys, and I just don't know what to say, man. On one hand, it's cute. Part of comedy is when you take something and you just make it to the extreme. So, you know, a guy who falls, and then he gets up and he falls again, and he gets up and he falls again, or, you know, some situation like a gun, it keeps not working, it keeps jamming, it keeps shooting this way. You know, you take things and you keep overplaying it. This was one of the most famous movies from 2011, and it was a pretty famous book, and lots of Asians have seen this movie. And I'm just afraid, especially to the more gullible younger men, they're going to take some bad lessons from this. You know? Imagine this, you know? What in the world are you thinking? Are you going to be cold? Here's the kicker to this. He doesn't even get the girl at the end. He never gets the girl at the end. So this entire romantic movie is about a guy and a girl, and they never really get together. Part of it's his fault, a little bit of it's her fault, but it's mostly his fault. He never really can go for it. And he's also a little immature, but at the end of the movie, it's not even like a positive ending. It's just one of these endings. It's like you only love it if you accept that you don't deserve the best in life. This type of behavior that's exemplified by this guy, I just don't think it's the right type of role model. Yes, when he first gave the girl a napkin or whatever, fine. Your friend's crying, do that. But then you take off your shirt. Look how silly I look right now. Imagine to her, she's crying about, apparently her test scores weren't good enough. That's what she was crying about. And this guy next to you took off his shirt. If it's a cotton shirt, it's an okay kind of absorption thing. But she's crying. She wants to be comforted. She doesn't want to look at you and see your skinny-ass body, much like you guys are seeing my skinny-ass body, and realize that you're just some little fool who will give up his own sense of warmth for her. Obviously, he's not trying to impress her, of course, but the unintended consequences that she sees that he's this skinny little dude. Can he really protect me? This movie came so highly recommended. All the female coworkers from my previous job, my parents, a lot of people told me, oh, this is a good movie, Jerry. You got to watch this. Well, I mean, there were good moments in this movie, make no doubt about it, but I just was not impressed by the plot. I was not impressed by basically anything. The girl's pretty cute. Let's give it that. For those of you who've seen this movie, you are the apple of my eye. Let me know what you think. Did you get cringed out? Did you find it cute? Did you have a mixed kind of reaction like I did? According to Box Office Mojo, it was released August 19th, 2011, and it made about $24 million, mostly $17 million out of the $24 million was from Taiwan. Taiwanese movie, of course. And it won quite a lot of awards, too. I was doing research on Zhihu, and apparently this movie was actually based on a book that was autobiographical. So the author's name is Jiu Ba Dao. I believe, I don't know what, Jiu Ba Dao is a Japanese name. A lot of Taiwanese people have an obsession with Japanese culture because in a way Taiwan is culturally more similar to Japan than it is to China, because Japan took over Taiwan for many years, and then after World War II, China had the Civil War. So all the nationalists went to Taiwan. So Taiwan has had a unique history of not being under the influence of mainland China. So a lot of Taiwanese people are really obsessed with Japanese culture, / they have Japanese names. So Jiu Ba Dao is like a Japanese name. I don't know exactly what his Chinese name or his Taiwanese name is, but the writer's name is Shoutout. And from what I've been reading, basically one of the parts in the movie that was kind of made up was when they had the argument in the rain. There was a climax moment where they kind of, the two of them officially broke up in the rain. That never happened. Apparently the author had a fight with her over the phone or something, and that was it. So from what I read on Zhihu, when they filmed the scene when the main character and his love interest were having the fight in the rain, the author / the director, producer of the movie was crying behind the scenes because he's like, wow, I wish it went down like this and I could say sorry to her. So it's fascinating. This scene where he takes off his shirt and gives it to her to wipe her boogers or whatever. Maybe it's still made up, but knowing how much of the movie is autobiographical, maybe he actually did this in real life. I get the appeal of this movie. I've been reading more into people's perceptions, and there's something about, there's such a purity / a naivete in young love, but the point is not to repeat the same mistakes of our ancestors. That's just my opinion. The point is, let's not repeat the same mistakes. Let's make interactions, love, etc. more efficient, more honest, so more people get to live happy lives. Don't you think that's better than celebrating the purity, the naivete, the dumbness of youth, and then basically normalizing and giving our next generations the same opportunities, is that the right word? To make the same mistakes that result in more heartbreak and more heart turning into stone type of thing. I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think. This was not really a planned talk. I just kind of wanted to ramble because, again, I'm trying to make sense of this book, this movie, and this hilarious scene. This is not the worst, by the way. There are some way worse scenes, but this scene just, it was trying to be comedic, but it ultimately made me cringe. So, I thank you guys so much for watching. You are the apple of my eye, 2011. Thank you guys so much. This was Jerry.